Weary with toil, I hasten to my bed. The dear repose for limbs with travel tired. But then begins a journey in my head to work my mind when body's works expire. For then my thoughts, from far where I abide, intend a zealous pilgrimage to thee, and keep my drooping eyelids open wide, looking on darkness which the blind do see. Save that my soul's imaginary sight presents thy shadow to my sightless view, which, like a jewel hung in ghastly night, makes black night beauteous, and her old face new. Lo, thus by day my limbs, by night my mind, for thee and for myself, no quiet find. Isn't that just beautiful? I can't, like I would just say, I can't keep thinking about you, man. I just can't forget about you. But he says it so much better.
AJ?
Yeah.
What do you know about this man that he was in love with? And someone like Shakespeare, who is so talented and kind of full of himself, what would he be so impressed with in the other person? I mean, what?
Yeah, I have no idea. It's all guessing, you know. Like, it's pretty obvious that he's in love with a male. But who that guy is, there's a lot of books written about this. But who is that guy? And we really don't know.
But what do you imagine the qualities are that would make someone like Shakespeare be so overwhelmed and fixated and impressed and devote so much of his talent and intellect and attention? Is it that Shakespeare isn't just physical beauty? He doesn't think he's physically beautiful. This person is, and that freaks him out. He likes to talk about it a lot. Or was it part of like the social time thing that also he was a little bit awestruck because this person was higher up than him?
I have to assume that he would need somebody smart. If Shakespeare is like every other actor I know, he had an unsuccessful relationship with his mom and a fairly successful relationship with his dad. And I think that's why when he fell in love with a woman, she was such a bitch. Because I think that he was falling in love with his mom again. I know that Shakespeare is a humanist. Philosophically, he thinks that we're all the same, and there's nothing that really like when two people meet each other, it's not a fish and a hammer trying to talk to each other. You might be old, or young, rich, poor, but basically you're the same. You're human beings. So I don't know. I think that the young man would have to be fairly wise and fairly intelligent. I think that he probably would have really good taste in guys and really bad taste in women.
He gets away. He writes all these sonnets. I love you. You need to live forever. Go breathe so everyone will know how we flirt. We don't fucking know who he is.
Really? Why did he name him? You know what? That comes right back as he's talking about himself, maybe. You know? That maybe he's just showing off for himself. He found anyone to love just so that he could write this great stuff, maybe.
So,
That's so fun.
were you referring to the woman that he married as a bitch, or the lover he had?
The Dark Lady.
Yeah, because
I think his
I
wife was
spoke
probably
with you
engaged to
about
him.
I spoke with you about his wife because I told you a couple conventions ago. I said that I really felt that his wife was probably the only true person on the planet that understood him. You said you were seeking friendship. He died at home. He went home.
Yeah.
And she stayed in the country. She was the one who actually elevated him up out of the dirt and allowed him to go to London and be part of the court and move within the world of the actors and the world of the court. She stayed at home, raised the children, never. Every time I read about their relationship, he came back frequently. I mean, they had several children, so he had to come back a couple times. But she was a few years older than he was. She had to get married. From what I understand, her father was dying, and she was going to lose the property because there was no sons to inherit or something like that. So for her to keep that land, she could have taken advantage of a younger boy because he was young at the time, maybe, and she could have just his short forms or something, but it's
Oh yeah, okay. Maybe
it's a little.
It's a sonnet, though.
Okay, it's one little thing that he wrote. I think it's to her toward the end of his life, and it's basically to say thank you for being there for me.
Go ahead.
Sexuality can be very complicated, and relationships are, like, because I do agree, he was in a relationship with a man, and I don't think that's excuse. I don't know that that precludes him also loving his wife, or there's something against loving them.
Okay, well, there's another can of worms. Is bisexuality, is that really true? Like a lot of my friends say, no, man, you're gay or you're not gay.
I think that,
No.
absolutely. My son's ex was bi, and she was engaged to him, and they're also, my son and his wife are polyamorous, so they have more than one relationship within their relationships. They have like a core relationship within him, and his ex had relationships with women, and it's complicated. That doesn't mean people don't love each other and can't love more than one person. And I don't know that you can say he loved this man, so he didn't love his wife, or that he was trapped in that. We complement each other in more than one way, and some people don't find it all in one person.
What's to say that maybe his love for his wife was like you were saying earlier, you want passion but you also want friendship. Maybe it was a friendship with his wife. You can love someone and not have it be romantic sexual love, and maybe that's what he was getting from his male lover, and he was getting the other part from his wife, or
Kids, there was some other stuff going on.
obviously, they hooked up at least 7 times.
Yeah.
I mean, unless she was philandering around, but obviously they hooked up at least 7 times, but, I mean, let's face it, just because you have sex with somebody doesn't mean you're in love with them.
He could have been doing the exact same thing to both people, though. I mean, just because I have you have romantic, sexual, and friendship with one person doesn't mean you can't have the exact carbon copy of those feelings for somebody else.
So it doesn't mean that you do.
If there's one thing that I'm absolutely certain of, for everything, its follies and its greatness, love in itself is movement.
Was it not Shakespeare who said, "My bounty is boundless to see, my love is deep. The more I give to you, the more I have, and hope for infinite." He was the one who said that as long as there is something there, love is eternal because you have it inside of you. To limit it to just one person, it seems like you cheapen it. There doesn't always have to be this stricture on love, because when you try and put a boundary to it, you take away from its glory and its pain.
But I want to be possessed. I do. I want to be possessed with my wife. And I want to possess her. I don't want anyone else.
And some people need that.
And that's how
Other
that's
people
how
don't.
it's
Yeah.
And that's what you need, which is great. Other people need more than one person. You have to accept that other people may need that, but you also, there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you want.
That's what I really want. Like I never am like I'm so true. She has nothing to worry about. I have no interest in anyone else. I just one person. That's what I want. Am I boring?
Absolutely.
No.
No, that's a good thing. My grandson's the same way. He was with his fiancée since they were in 8th grade. They're 22 now. They're engaged. They're getting married next year. He doesn't even know anybody else. That's it for him.
My brother and his wife
But we see what we want to in Shakespeare
Mm-hmm.
in a way. That he's holding a mirror up, and we're seeing ourselves in what he's writing. So it's easy to project yourself into it. That's why there's a lot of scholars that are like, don't want to know anything about the biography of an author, that you find everything in